Developing story, the Seattle City Council just passed a moratorium on evictions during the winter months.
So the bill's intention is to keep renters being evicted from ending up on the streets. Q13 Steve Kiggins takes a closer look.
Councilmember Shama Sawant calls this legislation a landmark event, but she also admits it's likely that this moratorium will only delay the process, but she says that's probably exactly the kind of time that these tenants need to catch up on their bills. Yeah. It took nearly 2 hours and half a dozen amendments, but Seattle City Council passed an eviction moratorium Monday afternoon.
In most cases, the study found the evicted tenants owed 1 month or less in rent.
Council Central staff says the ordinance is modeled after somewhat similar legislation in other states, but it's a first for Washington.
Don't vote for the rich. They don't need any help. It's the poor that need help.
The legislation bans evictions from November to April, and is an attempt to save those being evicted from being pushed onto the streets into dangerously cold weather.
We want people to stay in their homes. We do not want our units moving over and over.
A number of amendments were added to the bill before council approved it, and they could help landlords like Jessica Froelich, who don't own large complexes, from losing their investment after months of delays.
If you pass this today, small landlords like myself will be, we will foreclose on our buildings, and more people will be homeless.
One lawmaker in Olympia has proposed their own legislation that would ban cities and counties in our state from enacting policies that keep landlords from evicting tenants during any time of the year. Phil Fortunato believes a moratorium violates the Constitution, private property rights, and instead only pushes evictions later down the line. Meanwhile, Seattle City Council will have to revisit this moratorium this fall to figure out how to keep small-time landlords afloat when their tenants are facing eviction and can't pay rent.
In the event of 5 months, it would be $1.6 million. In the event of 3 months, it would be about $500,000 in financial assistance.
It's unlikely that Seattle's mayor will support this legislation. Mayor Durkin's spokesperson told us that there are already laws on the books to help people avoid eviction, and the likelihood that this bill is going to have a legal battle is intense. At City Hall, Steve Kiggins.